So my breeder hens are finally coming out of their molt, and today we have 2 eggs. Yesterday we had 2 eggs. The day before that we had 1 egg. So in the next few days I expect to see this tub full of chicken eggs. And I know I've showed you guys the system before, but right here we have all solar LED lights. We have the red ones because we want to encourage healing. We have about 100 feet strung up here of solar LEDs that are completely run off grid here. These work great. Little solar panel right there. And we have 3 of them, and it keeps this system operating like a champ. Had absolutely no issues. So this is a great way, very inexpensive way too, to have light constantly in the coop at night to encourage that laying. Can we just pause and look at this beautiful rainbow? I love my life. We have some more eggs this morning. As you can see by comparison, the one on the left is way bigger. It looks like a double yolker there. As you guys can see, light is paramount in order to have your chickens be able to lay year round. As you guys can see from my setup, I use a DIY plug and play system. I have 100 feet, approximately 100 feet of red LED solar lights that are completely off grid. And the way they work is as long as a solar panel can maintain a charge, it will recharge the batteries. As soon as the forecast goes down to where that solar panel can no longer charge the system, the red LED lights come on. And so this is a great system. A lot of people have asked me if it is unhealthy for your chicken to have access to light 24/7. I don't think so. I don't think that argument holds water. I've heard it before on other forums. My thought process on this is to say that light is bad for chickens is to say that environments such as those that we find in the tropics, in Hawaii, and in South America are somehow detrimental to chickens. We know that in those places they have access to light, over 12 hours of light year round, and that's all the chickens need is to have access to light for 12 hours out of the day in order to produce eggs. With my system, yes, the chickens do have access to light 24/7. However, it's not a white light. I use a red light. Red light is scientifically proven to aid chickens in the healing process, and it does not interfere with their circadian rhythm, which means that they're able to sleep undisturbed. So they have access to light and their body's getting beneficial healing properties from the light. So ultimately, I think it's actually more healthy for the chickens to have access to that red light because, like I said, it's aiding them in healing, and it's also not going to affect their circadian rhythm. Other things people have asked me is if it somehow hurts their overall lifespan. Again, that would mean to say that chickens that live in places like South America, Hawaii, and the tropics somehow have have more unhealthy chickens and lower lifespans just because of the fact that they do have access to light. Like I said, there's nothing empirical or in the literature that I've seen that would lead me to believe that. Now, will the laying life of your chicken be diminished? Well, that depends how you look at it. We know that the chicken is born, a hen is born with all the eggs that she'll have. So if she's able to lay year round, she's going to go through those eggs much quicker than if she has, goes months on end without having light in order to produce eggs. Another thing to think about is the molting process. My chickens went through a molt a little later on, which is not super uncommon, but they went through their molt in the wintertime. And so I did have a time where they weren't laying, but now that the molt is over, they're back to laying. As you guys know that watch my videos, I'm trying to produce, a very hardy homestead bird. I want to have it all essentially. I want to have the attributes of I want my chickens to have the attributes of a laying bird where they are able to produce over 300 eggs a year, and I also want them to grow it like a meat bird. I want to overall to have a bird that can reach 6 pounds of 6 pounds harvest weight at under 16 weeks. I would preferably like to have a 6-pound bird between 12 to 14 weeks, and I want them to be able to lay like laying birds. So that is what I'm doing with my breeding program. Are we going to get there? I'm not sure, but I'm really enjoying the journey. So there you have it. Like I said, this is how I did it. I did a DIY system, But there's lots of different things that you can look at. There's lots of different examples online, and I'm sure that there are commercial products that you can incorporate and that you can buy and get started immediately. But like I said, being able to have fresh eggs here on the homestead is a great sustainability plus for us. You know, pasture raised eggs are just they're in my opinion they're a superfood. You know, you have great biological value, lots of macro, micro nutrient density benefits, everything from the beta carotene, omega-3s, omega-6s, B12. These are all things that are really good to have in your diet, really good to have access to, especially being able to have access to them year-round and not having to depend on the grid. So this is a really good setup for us here on the homestead, and I wanted to share this information for you guys. Like I said, there's lots of different ways to go about it, but this is how we are able to have fresh eggs year-round. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the comment section below. I will link the video that I made for my DIY setup here, show you how I did it and how I went about doing that, so you guys can kind of have a template to look at. And there you have it. I look forward to interacting with you in the comment section below. And as always, guys, long live the Republic.